you know that certain mistakes can actually make your eggs harmful? Eggs are often praised as one of the top sources of quality protein, loaded with important vitamins and nutrients. But what many people do not realize is that if eggs are not handled the right way, they can have negative effects on your health in ways you may not expect. The reality is, whether eggs help or hurt your body depends entirely on how you cook, store, and prepare them. In this video, we will look at 5 common mistakes that can turn eggs from healthy to risky. Some of these might surprise you, especially if you have been eating eggs the same way for a long time without thinking twice. Once you understand these common errors, you will be able to keep enjoying eggs without any concern about hidden health issues. Watch until the end, because this is not just about avoiding mistakes, it is about making small changes that could lead to real improvements in your overall health. We will clearly explain what goes wrong when eggs are not handled properly and what you can do differently to make sure they remain a safe and nutritious part of your meals. So if you want to keep eggs as a health-boosting food rather than something that may cause harm, you will not want to skip this. Now let's begin. Number 1. Overcooking eggs. One of the biggest mistakes people make when preparing eggs is using too much heat. While eggs are full of protein, healthy fats, and important vitamins, exposing them to very high temperatures can change their structure in harmful ways. When eggs are cooked for too long, like frying them until they get browned, boiling until the yolk turns greenish-gray, or scrambling them over high heat, they go through oxidation, which can create harmful substances. Oxidized cholesterol, in particular, has been linked to more inflammation and a greater risk of heart problems. If you have ever noticed a strong, unpleasant sulfur smell after boiling eggs too long, that is a sign they were overcooked. This smell comes from sulfur in the whites reacting with iron in the yolk, creating iron sulfide. While this does not make the egg unsafe to eat, it shows that nutrients have been damaged during cooking. Eating overcooked eggs regularly over time may lead to long-term health issues, especially if it becomes a habit. For older adults who are already more sensitive to inflammation-related issues, this becomes even more important. Take Robert, for instance. At age 76, he had been eating eggs for breakfast every morning for several years. He would fry them in a pan until the edges turned crispy, thinking they tasted better that way. But over time, he began to experience stomach discomfort and more frequent acid reflux. After learning how oxidized cholesterol could be harmful, he changed his cooking method and began preparing his eggs on lower heat, soft scrambling instead of frying them too hard. Within a few weeks, he felt a clear improvement, less bloating and increased energy throughout the day. Another concern with overheating eggs is that it can break down some of their most valuable nutrients. Eggs contain vitamin B12, folate, and antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin, which are beneficial for brain and eye health. But when they are exposed to high heat for too long, the amount of these nutrients your body can use drops, meaning you may not be gaining the full nutritional value of the eggs you eat. If you depend on eggs as a key part of your diet, then how you cook them is just as important as eating them. The good news is that you do not have to cut eggs out of your meals to avoid these problems. You just need to pay attention to how you prepare them. Cooking eggs over lower heat, such as by gently boiling, poaching, or soft scrambling, helps keep their nutrients intact and reduces the chances of oxidation. If you choose to fry your eggs using a lower temperature and avoiding browning them too much, can really help maintain their health benefits. These simple adjustments can make a big difference in making sure you get the most from your meals without exposing yourself to avoidable health concerns. Number 2, eating raw or undercooked eggs. Some people think that eating eggs raw or only partly cooked is a good way to get all the nutrients they offer, but they often overlook the serious health concerns that come with this habit. Even though eggs are high in protein, vitamins, and minerals, eating them raw can expose you to dangerous bacteria like salmonella, which can lead to serious food poisoning. This risk is especially important for seniors, as aging naturally weakens the immune system, making it harder to recover from infections. What may cause only mild symptoms in a younger person can become a serious illness in someone Older. If you have eaten things like raw cookie dough, homemade mayonnaise, or eggs with runny yolks, you might have been at risk without realizing it. Salmonella contamination does not happen often, but it is still a danger that should not be ignored. The symptoms can include fever, stomach pain, diarrhea, and dehydration. For older adults, these issues can quickly become serious enough to require hospital care in more severe cases. Store-bought eggs are generally considered safe, but even the cleanest eggs can still carry bacteria if they are not stored or handled the right way. Take Margaret, for instance, a 68-year-old who enjoyed beginning her day with a smoothie made using raw eggs. She had followed this routine for years, believing it helped her absorb all the nutrients better. But one day, she developed severe stomach cramps and nausea that lasted for several days. After visiting her doctor, she was diagnosed with salmonella poisoning. She had never imagined the eggs she had trusted for so long could be the reason behind her illness. After she switched to eating only fully cooked eggs, she did not face the issue again and continued receiving the same nutritional benefits without the added risk. There is another reason to stay away from raw eggs. They contain a substance called avidin. Avidin binds to biotin, an important B vitamin that helps with energy production, nerve health, and maintaining good skin and hair. When eggs are consumed raw, avidin prevents biotin from being properly absorbed by the body, which over time can result in a deficiency. Cooking the eggs disables avidin, allowing the body to make full use of the nutrients without interference. Some people argue that raw eggs from organic or free-range farms are safer, but the fact remains that any egg, no matter where it comes from, can be contaminated with bacteria. The most reliable way to protect yourself is to ensure your eggs are thoroughly cooked. Scrambled, boiled, or poached eggs with firm yolks and whites are all safe options. If you enjoy soft yolks, using pasteurized eggs can lower the risk, but cooking them fully remains the safest method. If you are still watching and find this information helpful, type number 2 in the comments to let me know you are following along. And if you have not subscribed yet, I suggest hitting the subscribe button and turning on notifications so you never miss a new video. Your support encourages us to keep making content that informs and supports your well-being. Now let us continue. Number 3. Storing cooked eggs the wrong way. Many people do not pay much attention to how they store eggs after cooking, but poor storage habits can quickly turn a safe meal into a place where harmful bacteria grow. Leaving cooked eggs at room temperature for too long or not storing them correctly increases the chance they will become unsafe. Bacteria grow quickly in warm conditions, and once food enters the temperature danger zone between 40 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, harmful organisms can begin to form in just a few hours. This is especially dangerous for older adults because foodborne illnesses often affect them more seriously than younger people. If you have ever left a plate of scrambled eggs out on the counter for a couple of hours and then eaten it, you might have put yourself at risk without realizing it. The longer cooked eggs are left out, the more likely they are to develop bacteria such as Salmonella, Listeria, or E. coli. While refrigeration does help slow down bacterial growth, it is still important to store cooked eggs the right way. They should be kept in airtight containers and eaten within a certain time frame. Hard-boiled eggs, for instance, should be eaten within 1 week. Scrambled or fried eggs should ideally be consumed within 3 to 4 days. Take George, a 72-year-old who preferred to make a big batch of scrambled eggs early in the week to save cooking time. He stored them in a loosely covered container in the refrigerator. Grabbing a portion every morning seemed convenient, but after dealing with repeated stomach issues and nausea, George began to suspect his storage methods were to blame. Once he started using sealed containers and preparing smaller portions, those digestive problems went away completely. Another concern with poorly stored eggs is cross-contamination. If cooked eggs are placed near raw meat, unwashed produce, or other potentially contaminated foods, they can absorb harmful bacteria. Many people think that once eggs are cooked, they are completely safe. But after cooling down, eggs can become just as likely to be contaminated as any other perishable item. A commonly missed mistake is reheating eggs the wrong way. If you have ever microwaved leftover eggs and found them rubbery or with an odd smell, that is because eggs do not reheat well. Overheating can damage their nutrients and give them an unpleasant, tough texture. A better option is to warm them slowly on the stove using low heat, adding a little water or broth to prevent them from drying out. If a microwave must be used, heat the eggs in short bursts and stir between intervals to keep the texture more enjoyable. To avoid foodborne illness and make the most of the nutrients in your eggs, it is important to store them properly, keep them chilled, and eat them within a safe window. The way you handle food can seriously affect your well-being. Something as simple as storing eggs the right way can help you avoid unnecessary digestive problems and keep you feeling well. Number 4. Using cracked or expired eggs. One of the fastest ways to turn eggs into a health risk is by eating ones that are broken, expired, or not stored correctly. Even if they appear normal on the outside, eggs that are past their best or have small cracks in the shell can carry bacteria like salmonella. This is especially critical for older adults, whose immune systems are not as strong, making it harder for them to recover from infections that younger people might bounce back from more easily. If you have ever looked at your eggs in the fridge and wondered if they were still okay to eat, you are not alone. Many people trust the expiration date printed on the carton, but eggs can sometimes go bad before that date or remain good a bit longer, depending on how they were stored. A simple water test is the most reliable way to check. Just place an egg in a bowl of cold water. If it sinks and stays flat, it is fresh. If it stands on one end, it is still usable but should be eaten soon. If it floats, it is best to throw it away. Consider Evelyn, a 74-year-old who is usually very mindful of what she eats. But she never gave much thought to checking her eggs before using them. One morning, she cracked one into her pan and noticed an odd smell. Still, she ignored it and cooked the egg anyway. Within hours, she had stomach cramps and nausea. A doctor visit confirmed it was food poisoning from a spoiled egg. From that moment on, she began doing the water test before using eggs and never faced the same problem again. Another key point is how eggs are stored before they even arrive at your house. If they are kept at the wrong temperature at any point during transport or storage, whether in the store, during transport, or inside your refrigerator, eggs can develop condensation. This moisture creates an ideal setting for bacteria to grow. That is why it is important to always store eggs in the coldest section of your fridge, not in the door, where temperatures tend to shift more frequently. Cracked eggs pose another unseen risk. Even if an egg appears normal when purchased, tiny cracks can allow bacteria to enter. If you happen to bring home an egg with a crack, it is better to discard it than risk getting sick. The same rule applies to eggs with strange smells or discoloration. Both are strong indicators that the egg has spoiled and should not be consumed. If you are still watching this video and have found these points helpful so far, leave a comment with the number 4 to let me know you are following along. And if you have not subscribed yet, I suggest you do and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. Your support makes it possible for us to keep producing informative and useful content for you. Now let us move on. Number 5. Cooking eggs with unhealthy oils. One frequent error people make when preparing eggs is selecting the wrong kind of cooking oil. Eggs are full of quality protein, beneficial fats, and important nutrients. But the oil you use during cooking can decide whether your meal supports your health or adds to issues like inflammation and chronic illness. Many are unaware that certain oils, especially those that are heavily refined, tend to break down at high temperatures. This process creates harmful byproducts that can negatively affect your health over time. If you often cook eggs in margarine, vegetable oil, or refined seed oils such as soybean, corn, or canola, you may unknowingly be consuming trans fats and oxidized fats. These harmful fats are associated with more inflammation in the body, increased risk of heart problems, and even a higher chance of mental decline as we age. Unlike natural fats that the body can use effectively, trans fats disturb how cells function, which can lead to lasting health damage. Older adults especially need to be mindful of their fat choices. Chronic inflammation is tied to many age-related health concerns, including heart disease and joint pain. Think about Frank, a 78-year-old who had always fried his eggs using vegetable oil. He never gave it much thought and believed oil was just oil. But once he learned how harmful processed seed oils can be, he switched to better options like butter and olive oil. Within a few weeks, he noticed he felt less tired after eating and his digestion improved. He did not change his diet, just the way he cooked. That small adjustment made a real difference in his everyday energy. Another key concern with cooking oils is their smoke point, which is the temperature at which they begin to break down and release toxic substances. Many processed oils have a low smoke point and become unstable under high heat. When this happens, they create free radicals, unstable molecules that can harm your cells and speed up aging. If you often fry your eggs at high temperatures using these oils, you might be increasing the amount of oxidative stress in your body without knowing it. A smarter choice is to pick oils that hold up well under heat. Butter, ghee, coconut oil, and extra virgin olive oil are all great options for this purpose. When cooking eggs, these healthy fats not only improve the taste but also supply vital nutrients that aid brain function, support the heart, and promote general wellness. If you like a lighter option, avocado oil is also an excellent pick because of its high smoke point and good mix of monounsaturated fats. The main point here is that it is not only about what you eat, but also how you cook it. Eggs are an excellent source of nutrition, but when prepared using the wrong oil, they can shift from being beneficial to something that adds to inflammation and health issues. Changing how you cook them is a small step that can make a big difference in your long-term health and ensure you are getting all the benefits eggs can offer. Final thoughts. Now that we have looked at these 5 common mistakes, take a minute to reflect on how you have been storing, preparing, and eating eggs. Although eggs are among the healthiest foods you can include in your diet, even small adjustments in how they are handled and cooked can determine whether they support your health or unknowingly cause harm. The good thing is that avoiding these errors is simple, and once corrected, you can start enjoying eggs in a way that truly supports your well-being. If you have been cooking your eggs at high heat, try reducing the temperature to help keep their nutrients and avoid forming harmful substances. If you eat them raw or undercooked, switching to fully cooked eggs can lower the chance of getting sick from bacteria. Proper storage is equally important. Keeping your cooked eggs chilled and handling them safely can reduce the risk of bacterial growth. If checking for cracks or expiration dates is something you often skip, a quick water test can help you make sure the eggs are still fresh and safe. Lastly, using the right oil while cooking makes a big difference. It helps you avoid extra inflammation and boosts the health value of your meal. Your body depends on the food you eat to stay in good condition, and being smarter with how you cook can improve your energy, digestion, and health in the long run. It is not about cutting eggs from your diet. It is about enjoying them in the best way possible to get the most benefits while lowering any risks. Thank you for being here today. We would love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned and how you plan to use it in your daily routine. Your feedback means a lot to us, so feel free to speak your mind. Reading your responses gives us motivation and helps us keep going. If you liked this video and found it useful, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support helps us keep making content that informs and adds value to your life. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to having you with us in the next video.